Today's video is brought to you by SeatGeek. Need a last minute gift for the holidays? Look no further than SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to buy and sell tickets to live sporting events, concerts, and shows. The unique color-coded grading system lets you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. If you use my code EPIC, you will get $20 off your first purchase. Don't tell my dad, but I bought him tickets to a game for Christmas on SeatGeek. I think he's going to like that. Again, my code is EPIC, EPIC, for $20 off. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Joel, and I might be the next big NBA broadcaster. LeBron pulls up for three. Brick City, rebound Bosh, kicks it out to Ray Allen, and it's good! Nothing but respect for my president! Ray Allen ties the ball game! In this video, I wanted to talk about something really cool I came across on my social media feed yesterday. Twitch is partnering with the NBA G League to allow streamers to broadcast and commentate over live NBA G League games. I think this is really awesome. I want to talk about it in a couple of different ways. What this means for the NBA, what this means for Twitch as a platform, and why the fuck YouTube doesn't do cool stuff like this. Maybe I'm not being fair to YouTube, but let's get into the story right now. It's from tubefilter.com, which, by the way, is a great website to look at for news stories about anything social media related, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. It's going to be on tubefilter.com. Article says, Twitch to broadcast the NBA's second-tier league with its streamers as commentators. The article isn't really long, but I will read the first couple of paragraphs for those of you who don't like reading or don't know how. NBA G League action is about to tip off on Twitch. A newly announced deal will bring matchups from the NBA's developmental tier to the streaming platform best known for its video game content. The G League is essentially the NBA equivalent of the MLB's AAA division. Its teams, whose rosters tend to be filled with young players, are tied to top-level NBA squads. On Twitch, basketball diehards will be able to check out 6 tilts per week, which will be broadcast via the G League's official channel. Once the streams conclude, they will be available as on-demand videos. In order to sweeten the deal for its potential audience, Twitch is augmenting its G League streams with several features. An overlay will show stats while the broadcasts proceed, and the platform's interactive chat window will incorporate a loyalty system that will reward regular viewers. Twitch's community of influential streamers will also have opportunities to get in the game. By making use of the co-streaming feature, they will be able to provide commentary for G League action. Twitch said in a press release that more than a dozen creators, including Gold Glove, plan to capitalize on the announcing opportunity. There's a lot of points I'd like to cover in talking about this, but I'd like to break it down into 3 segments specifically: the NBA and other professional sports leagues, Twitch and other websites where you talk to people alone in your room on film, or just other social media websites in general, and then the future of media as a whole. So in terms of the NBA, I consider the NBA to be an extremely progressive professional sports league. Adam Silver took over as commissioner, it feels like a few years ago, maybe it was 5-6 years ago, and he has been doing a great job. He is always looking for ways to advance the game and make it more global. They are opening academies all over the world in different countries, for especially underdeveloped countries. One just opened in Mexico City, I believe, this week, for young potential NBA talent to come and cultivate their skills at this academy and learn from some of the best coaches in the world. There's NBA academy locations in Mexico City, like I said. I believe there's one in Cameroon. I don't know where they all are, but I just think Adam Silver is a great commissioner of a professional sports league. And the NBA is, I don't think this is biased. I am an NBA fan, but I don't think it's biased to say that the NBA is the best social media sport. It is so fun to talk about the NBA offseason on social media. There's always trending topics about basketball on social media. The best gifs, the funniest moments, the best petty trash talk happens with NBA players on social media. Now, the G League used to be called the NBA D League, standing for NBA Developmental League, until they partnered with Gatorade last year, and now they're the G League because Gatorade. Anyways, it wasn't something that I would say there was a lot of fanfare for. In other countries, specifically, I'm thinking of Canada, I know there is a lot of national attention paid to junior hockey. Maybe not as much national attention is paid to the national hockey team or the NHL teams, the Maple Leafs or the Flames or whoever you want to name that's a Canadian NFL or NHL team. I know that junior hockey is a big thing there, as well as soccer or football. In other countries, specifically Europe, there are developmental leagues where you're paying very close attention to the younger players. Even the MLB was mentioned in this article. The MLB has a pretty well-established developmental league from A to AA to AAA, or single A to AA to AAA, you can pay attention to the prospects coming up through those ranks if you're an MLB fan. That's not something that really happens in basketball. The developmental league is for players who maybe weren't drafted, players who are extremely young and need playing time, players who are rehabilitating from an injury, and it isn't necessarily seen as a place where talent is developed. The NBA in recent years has been making a push for the G League to become an alternative for players who maybe don't want to go to college right out of high school. The rule in the NBA right now is that I believe you need to be 19 years old to be drafted. I don't know if the rule is specifically you have to go to college for 1 year before you can be drafted, but that is the common occurrence. You'll see the best basketball players in the United States of America go to college for 1 year and then say, bye college, I didn't really want you anyway, and go to the NBA draft. If they're really good, they'll leave after 1 year, some leave after 2 years, etc. It kind of defeats the purpose of going to college, in my opinion. So the NBA wants to have this alternative to say you can go to the G League and get paid to play. I think they increased the standard salary of the G League in recent years too, because what's been typically happening is high school players will go play overseas in a professional basketball league in China or Europe somewhere, because they get paid significantly more than they would have gotten paid in the D League, now G League. So maybe you're a hot prospect coming out of high school, number one player in the country, don't feel like going to college. You go to a G League team, you don't make as much money as you can overseas, but you're building your brand to an American audience by scoring 50 points a night on other G League teams. And by that happening, by more attention being paid to G League teams, maybe people are going to more games and the G League makes more money. I would assume they're not operating in the green as a league. I would assume they are losing money rather than making money. I don't have the profit list in front of me or anything like that. But if the NBA G League starts to make more money, then they can pay the players more money so they can be more competitive, because there is a larger fan base for the developmental league. Maybe that's a long shot, but I would assume that's how the NBA is looking at this. In terms of how Twitch is looking at this, this is a really exciting opportunity for Twitch as a website. For all the successes that Twitch has had, I would assume in the general public, if anyone's heard of Twitch at all, they are still stereotyping this as the website where nerdy losers go into their mom's basement and drink 32-ounce fountain sodas to watch cyber athletics being played on their computer. And don't get me wrong, I love some good esports cyber athletics myself. But I know that that is the stereotype if anyone has heard of Twitch at all. So one, maybe sports fans will hear about a hot young prospect on their G League team, and it'll be like, hey, where do you watch that team? Oh, you watch it on this website called Twitch. My main takeaway from the Twitch perspective is how exciting this is for Twitch broadcasters and young people in general who want to have a career in sports or broadcast sports for a living. Could you imagine being young Marv Albert back in the day? And some of you might be saying, Joel, who the fuck is Marv Albert? He is one of the most well-established, well-known NBA broadcasters. Been doing it for many, many years, broadcasted many famous National Basketball Association games. I don't know how he got his start, but could you imagine if he was able to get his start with an audience live on the internet? He could gain fans as a broadcaster. There's no substitute for experience, and he could get his experience live online in front of an audience. They could give him feedback in real time saying, hey, I like when you give this analysis. I don't necessarily like when you say things this way. Take this how you want it. It would be a really great experience, I would imagine, for anyone that is interested in broadcasting in general. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, but I would love to have this opportunity to be able to broadcast G League games and study the teams and just see if that's something I might want to do. I'm 27 years old. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life, and I'm very interested in sports and video games, so this would be a really great way to mold my two loves together, meld them. Just put them together like this and try this out and see if it's something I'm good at, something that I like. It's such a great opportunity to cultivate young broadcasting talent and make a new career opportunity for people who want to have a career in sports. And this is kind of going to go into my third topic about the future of media. But I believe this is the best way for media to be consumed. It's so fun to watch esports, a huge championship with a lot on the line, and a crazy play is made. I mean, millions of dollars on the line, millions of people watching across the globe, all the pressure in the world on these usually younger kids or young adults. and a crazy play is made. Everyone reacts in chat. Everyone goes crazy. Emotes are being thrown around. Chat is just going that fast. It is a much better experience than watching sports alone. Back in the day, you would maybe go to a bar to watch a big sports game so you could enjoy the successes or mourn the failures as a community. Humans are a communal creature. While we become more detached as a generation, more attached to our phones, living our lives through our phones, we still have that yearning to experience things as a community. So maybe the happy medium between going to a bar to watch your favorite game in the 70s and watching sports alone on your iPad in the 2010s is Twitch and interacting with other people online, watching the same thing at the same time and seeing these crazy things happen live. I truly believe this is the future of broadcasting. Maybe this is a small start and a small step in a direction that will be something that every professional sports league is looking at. A lot of the big television contracts I know the television contract for the wrestling league, WWE, is up soon. And I believe the broadcasting rights to UFC MMA is up soon. And Amazon is going to be a huge player in all of these negotiations. Amazon has more money than any company in the world right now that is interested in doing things with media.
Are you sure about that?
And when any professional sports league now has their television contract run out, they're going to have to sit back as businesses and say, what is the future of how media is going to be consumed? Some companies have already been dabbling in this. NFL games have been broadcasted on Twitter. I believe professional baseball games have been broadcasted on Twitter or Amazon. But my point is, they are already kind of flirting with this. And once those television contracts are up, the tech companies that have a lot of money to spend, Facebook, Amazon, Google, are going to be knocking at the doors of these professional sports leagues and saying, come to us. We've got the money. We've got the audience. Look at these numbers that show you how often young people are on the internet. Do you guys know a lot of people that have cable packages if you're under the age of 30? I'm 27. I am one of the only people I know that still has a cable package. It is actually a really great deal. It's tethered to my internet and it's really cheap. And I think it's only really cheap because of how many people around here. I live in an area where there's a lot of younger people. There's a lot of people around here that do not have cable or internet. So to stay competitive, the package has suddenly become very cheap in the past few years. And I'm one of the people taking advantage of it because I like to watch live sports and Megan likes to watch TLC shows and stuff like that. But I don't know a lot of people that still have traditional cable. One of the last reasons to want to have traditional cable is for live sports, because the only thing that is still DVR proof or binge watching proof is a live event. You're going to see it on Twitter. I mean, the Super Bowl is going to be spoiled for me. I can't watch it. There's no Super Bowl Wednesday. You know, if you don't watch it Sunday, you're going to hear about it anywhere you go unless you become a total hermit. So live sports are the last bastion of huge revenue producing media for television networks, and tech wants in on that money. It's huge money to have that many eyeballs on one thing at the same time. You know, millions of people used to watch Seinfeld together. Now, if you're a television show and you're getting over 1 million viewers or anywhere close, you're probably a really successful television show. The metrics have just changed, and the location of the people watching media has changed. Twitch is one of those places where people are going in large numbers. So I just think this is really cool. I'm excited to see how the interactive stats work, where the broadcasters can show the stats on screen and the interactive chat window. I don't even know what that means, but I think it'll be a really cool experience. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of kinks to be worked out. Twitch chat can be kind of racist sometimes, so that's going to be something I'm going to be interested to see how that's dealt with. I'm sure the chat will be really strict, but hopefully I can get on something like this. I personally would love to try to broadcast a G League game and see if it's something I'm good at, see if it's something I like. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. Sorry if this was long-winded, but I just have so many thoughts about this and so many thoughts about how this is the future of media and tech. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.